The Fortnite live event is less than 20 days away and quite literally nobody is talking about it. But why? Why isn't anybody talking about potentially one of the biggest events of all time? I know I say that every time, but am I wrong? In my opinion, the events have only gotten better and will only get better. With that being said, today I'm going to break down my event theory. I know a few theories have been thrown around already, but trust me, none of them are as deep and in-depth as this one. Before I get into it though, make sure to drop a like on the video and hit that sub button so you don't miss out on any future videos. Without further ado, let's get right into it. As you've seen in the thumbnail, I believe that Midas will make a return, but not in the way that most people think. In Chapter 2, Midas was portrayed as the villain, and then as the chapter progressed, eventually people started to realize that he wasn't that bad. I think at this point in the story, almost everyone can agree that he is in fact a good guy. But with all that being said, how is he going to make his return in the end of season event? Well, if you guys haven't been keeping up with the news, it was said that there's going to be another Doomsday device in the event. And what's interesting about that is that the Doomsday device is going to belong to the IO. So if it belongs to the IO and Midas is a good guy, then how would Midas be involved? Well, if you remember back in Chapter 2 Season 5, there were IO elevators all around the map. And eventually, as that season went on, items were revealed by those elevators. And one of those items happened to be Midas's golden chair. So does this mean that Midas is working with the IO? No, I believe that Midas is being pressured into building the new Doomsday device for the IO. You may be wondering, how is he being pressured? Well, Midas's daughter Jules took over for Midas in Season 3, and then we saw her throughout Chapter 2 sporadically, but eventually she was nowhere to be seen. So I think that the IO took Jules hostage and is now threatening to kill her if Midas doesn't build the IO the Doomsday device. But it still doesn't make complete sense because the original Doomsday device was built to break the storm and the IO want to keep us in the storm and control us. That is why I think they're making him build the Doomsday device to work in the opposite way to where the IO could control us in the loop forever. Now that sounds crazy, right? Some would say realistic, but the theory doesn't stop there. So far, I've said that the IO is forcing Midas to build in the Doomsday device by holding his daughter Jules hostage, and I also said that they want Midas to make the Doomsday device control the storm instead of break it like the original Doomsday device tried to do. So how could this theory get any more in depth? Well, I said earlier that everyone can agree that Midas is a good guy at this point. So what if Midas secretly builds the Doomsday device to destroy the IO in a big portion of the map, to the point to where Chapter 3 Season 3 would look like a whole different game? I don't think that this is that far-fetched considering the original Doomsday device did the same thing with the Flood back in Chapter 2 Season 3. If you guys have any questions or you want to add anything onto this theory, make sure to drop it in the comments. I genuinely think this theory has a good chance of coming true, mainly because they mentioned the Doomsday device and they have made it a big part of the up-and-coming event. And I just don't see a world where Midas isn't somehow involved with that. He's the one who built it originally, so how would the IO know how to build it? Once again, it's just a theory, but let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, consider dropping a like and possibly even a sub because I'm going for 30,000 subscribers, and I cannot do that without your guys' support. But most importantly, guys, make sure you have a great rest of your day, and peace out.